Welcome to the Starting Over Podcast. I am your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and this is a show where we look at the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. Unless I'm talking about money, which I am today. So pretty much just let you know this may be a shorter episode. We're going to talk about economy. Mainly the reason it's going to be a shorter episode is I don't really have as much time this week as I did last week, just because I have bunch of stuff going on. Primarily, there are people that have paid for my services or will be paying for my services. So for learning the ways of the heroclix. So definitely because of that, I don't have as much time because I lesson plan and do other cool stuff for you to make it so that it fits into your understanding. So anyway, I have this. Also, the good news is for those of you who like topography, I have like 4 topography episodes recorded, and so those will be going up this week as soon as I get those edited. And my magical recorder, bloop bloop, is full to the brim of map knowledge. Definitely huge map knowledge. Also, just a side note on the map thing. My big time homie, my longtime supporter and friend, Joachim Adler, the guy who makes the graphic, or let me rephrase that, the guy that makes my graphics for free 99. he does a great job. He has his website, hcmaps.jimdo.com. Check it out. He puts up modern age maps in their non-pretty format. Let me rephrase that. He puts it up in so that you don't see like the graphics and stuff, but you know where like the squares are, the elevations are, all that cool stuff. The main reason he doesn't have like the graphics and stuff is so that he doesn't get sued by WizKids. And I fully support that. It allows you to sort of just look at a map and then be like, okay, I can tactically plan from here. Whereas topography, you have to look at me, shooting. It's like if you look at here, if you look at it right here. So definitely check out topography, and definitely check out Mr. Joachim Adler's website, hcmaps.jimdo.com. He didn't tell me to plug it, but he's my homeboy, so definitely want to say like, hey. All right, so let's go into it. Why is today the day that we're talking about money? Well, mainly because again, I need something a little bit shorter. But also, I sort of feel at this stage we need to be a lot more conservative with our ducats, and here's why. All right, now back in the day, what did I always say? For those who have been longtime listeners or watchers or whatever, always get a CUR and buy everything else that you need individually. You're still coming out cheaper, and that still in general is true. If you buy a CUR of Deadpool, plus buy the super rares that you want and the chase that you want, if you want any of the chases, you're coming out ahead, so far ahead than the guy that bought a case. Now, why is that? Well, let's see. A case, full retail, not, I got to deal with the comic shop owner, ha ha ha, check this out. Those, and no, none of that. Just fully, I bought a case. Okay, if you buy a case, it's around $200. Okay, for $200, you have no guarantee of what's in your case, how many duplicates you're going to have, are you going to use those duplicates and whatnot. You're just stuck. And then when it's all said and done, you have the bag of chaff that I like to call it. You've put all the pieces that you're going to use up, and then the rest of the pieces have to go somewhere, and so you just throw them in a plastic bag, and that plastic bag is held in another container, and you're just looking at it like you're just a bag of plastic crap that I will never play, ever. And so you're stuck because you're thinking to yourself like, man, I got these awesome figures. But to get these awesome figures, I've had to weed through that much crap. So that's why the CUR is great, because in the end you can say like, oh, only about 30% of this is crap. Now, the way game design has been going, they've been making that percentage higher and higher and higher and higher of what is crap and what is good. And this makes buying a CUR, I never thought I'd say this, more risky than it was before. It's more risky than it was before. Now, here's why. If you're looking at just realistically your time in a month, and let's say you only have one venue. Now, those people have more than one venue, great for you. Let's just say you have one venue that you're able to play at. 1 month is paid OP, whatever thing. War of Light, Fear Itself, Fendi Gauntlet, whatever it is, whatever you're paying for. Freaking Avengers are coming. I don't care. You have that one sealed event out of your 4 weeks. So you have 3 weeks left. Okay. If a new set comes out, there's another sealed. And if there's a big prize at most venues, it's a sealed. So out of a month, the chances of you playing sealed is pretty high. It's going to take up half of your month. Okay. So those are 2 dates down. Okay. So half your month you're playing sealed, the other half of your month you're playing constructed. If you're looking at what you, not me, Dark Logos, is telling you to play, but what you, the buyer, is actually playing, because I know there's folks that listen to me like, man, Dark Logos, I just love playing my X-Men teams all the time. I just play my X-Men teams. Well, guess what? You don't need to buy a CUR playing X-Men teams, guy. Okay? And so if we look at it, if we say there is 3 months, let's just say 3 months between sets, you have played 6 games of constructed. And out of those 6 games, there may be 2 formats that you don't like. So that's 4 games of constructed. Or even, let's up that. Let's up that. Because I said, hey, sealed. So it's a little bit more than that. So let's say it goes from 6 to 8. Yeah, 6 to 8. Okay, so you're now in this weird position because you're scratching your beard or your face or your nose or whatever you want to scratch. Just make sure it's publicly appropriate if you're in public. And you're just scratching and you're just like, okay, so I bought this CUR. I know I'm going to play this. I know I'm going to play that. How the heck am I going to play all the stuff I bought and sealed? How the heck am I going to play all the stuff that I bought with my CUR and, make something together and be meta? And the answer is you're not going to play all of it. You are not. Period. Not. Period. Okay. So you're left with even the, I'm a very specific buyer. I buy CURs like Dark Logo said. I buy the SRs and the chases like Dark Logo said. Guess what? I, Dark Logos, am looking at a pile of stuff at my feet. Literally a pile of stuff. And I'm sitting to myself, I'm like, crap, I am not going to play this. I'm just not. I'm not going to play a Deadpool. I played Copycat like once. I'm not going to play half the stuff from Guardians of the Galaxy because it's really like a supernova. Well, not supernova. It was really like Sinister. If you really start looking at it, it's close to a Sinister set. It's like, hey guys, we gave you some strong guys, but if you notice, we're trying to pull back, but we're not pulling back too hard to make you actually notice that we're trying to pull back. But we're trying. But next time we might actually go forward, but then we'll have to pull back again. But sort of coming back, just sort of coming back to the whole affair, is we are in a predicament that the amount of stuff incoming is more than you can outflow. Even if WizKids said we're putting out a main set once every 4 months, and then putting out a gravity feed or whatever the heck you want, at the same pace, like once every 4 months. So you're still getting a bunch of little sets and whatnot, but you have a main set, and then like 2 months later there's a little set, and then 2 months later there's a main set, then 2 months later there's a little set. So every 2 months you're buying something new, but you're only really big buying 3 times a year, and then you're little buying 3 times a year. And then that doesn't include fast forces and other stuff like that. Okay, so what does this mean? It actually might mean that the days of just buying for teams, like I hate to say it like this, you are making a laundry list or a grocery list of teams. Okay, you're going to go talk to the person that's your judge, or if you're the judge, you need to just say to the people like, okay, this is getting stupid. Okay, so here are all the games that we are going to run in this period of time in between sets. These are the formats. You all decide now on your buying habits what you're going to do. Now, if you're a rock person, okay, this is great, because 9 times out of 10, and I do the quarry, so I know most of y'all are clones. So you just see what Patrick's playing, or Mace's playing, or whoever won the freaking rock somewhere is playing. What's the other dude? There's Patrick, and then what's the other guy from Majestics? I keep jacking up his name. Oh well, I'll remember it later, and then be sort of mad and kicking myself. You'll just clone the team. And don't be like, Dark Logos, you hate. No, I know. I read the team list. I read the team list. Every time there's a quarry, I read the team list. And I'm like, oh yeah, we saw that at the blah, blah, blah rock. Someone just cloned it. It's Attack of the Clones. So then you can just be like, well, Attack of the Clones says that I need 5 entities, and I need Super Duper Man and this. Okay, I'm good. So you might say, I've spent $800 or something or whatever, okay, because you got 5 entities or whatever. Now, you probably don't have to buy a team for a long while, because you could just run that. Oh, Golden Age, put some more stuff in. Modern Age, buy, a random figure. Boom, there you go. I am now hit that point total. 1,000-point game. Boom, I've hit that. And I just reassign the entities. Boom, there you go. Okay. So what we're starting to see is WizKids wants to be like, yeah, you just buy the figures you want. I don't think they fully understand when we just buy the figures we want, we buy less. Because they think like, well, you're just going to buy boosters, then you're going to get the figures you want, and then you'll stop. And it's like, no, this doesn't work like that. So what now kicks in is that an individual now has to weigh the cost of a CUR. Now, if you get like a CUR for like $20, I don't think you're going to buy singles that dirt cheap. But if you're looking at a set and you're like, I am not impressed in the least with any of this, I'm not going to use any of this, I'm not going to play hardly any of this, and maybe 2 super rares, strike my fancy, then guess what? Buy those 2 super rares and wait. Just wait. Because here's what's going to happen inevitably. Everything from that common slot to that rare slot, unless it's just gangbusters broke, in a period of 2 months will drop down to half their value. You want to know why? Because of stuff like War of Light, Oh, I might not get the pieces, and Sodom Yacht is oh so broken. I must pay $30 for Sodom Yacht because it's the first month that he's out, and I don't want to get raffle stomped. For all those people thinking like that, trust me, I was there. At this stage, the game isn't even like that. If you're noticing, oh my gosh, Sodom Yacht is dumb. What can counter Sodom Yacht? Because I know this one idiot in my venue is going to keep buying that guy until he gets it, and he's going to try to run an army of Sodom Yachts or whatever it is. Then you just be like, counters. Okay, this is my game plan for the next month. I'm just going to run counters. Oh my gosh, Proxima Midnight all over the place. Bursty range. Oh my gosh, Bizarro. Proxima Midnight. Okay, cool. Star Sapphire Lantern. You heal one, you take one. This game can't keep up long for you. So you can start to see. It's like, well, then Dark Logos. Then what do I need to buy? What you need. Buy what you need. Don't buy more. Okay. I have a pile of War of Light up here. My usually like the most recent set that I buy is like the top, and then it usually gets filtered down, and then like the Golden Age stuff is down here, or stuff that's just like, oh crap, games of the past that I just never put those guys up, or just random stuff. And then like over in here, it's like sometimes it's like, hey, you're a super rare or a chase. Just like looking at you. Definitely with my proselyte. I pulled him, and I paid $150 for Parallax. So what's the lesson of it? I'm buying what I need, but then when I need like a few figures, I bought a whole lot, LOT of like Green Lanterns from War of Light for $12. I got all the Green Lanterns. I only needed like 2. But the price for the single 2 figures I needed exceeded the cost of the lot. All right, so what's going on? And this sort of brings back to the money thing. Why the super events are dumb. Okay, and I'm gonna do instant research, like live research while I'm talking to you all. Okay, I'm going to go to the magical eBays. Okay, in magical eBays, I'm going to type in John Stewart. Because by far right now, he is probably one of the better prizes that you could get from War of Light. heroclix, War of Light, John Stewart, 105, Wit Catapult, LE, $1. Buy it now. John Stewart, War of Light, LE promo, Green Lantern miniature, $1. heroclix, War of Light, month 3, LE prize, John Stewart, $1. DC, heroclix, War of Light, 105, John Stewart, $1 bid, 0 bids. Okay, John Stewart, Green Lantern Corps, 105, War of Light, DC, heroclix, $4.95, buy it now, free shipping. Okay, I've read the top 4 listings for John Stewart. What does that tell you right there? Is John Stewart bad? No, the dude is strong. Black History Month team this year will be rocking, okay? John Stewart is a strong piece. He is meta-worthy. He fits in a whole lot of different team constructs. But his cost is low because his availability is low. His availability is high. Very high. Like, you can be like, hey, new guy. You want a John Stewart? And he'll be like, aren't y'all just going to give out all the extra ones at the end at month 6? So why I don't need it. You keep it. Just keep it. Okay, so now we realize, like, okay, so the prize support really isn't that good. Now if you like, oh well, what if I win? I can get Atrocitus, or I can get, some cool guy. It was like I haven't really been paying attention who you win from War of Lights because I really haven't cared because none of them have really struck my interest whatsoever. Like, oh, a Krillo, never gonna play him. Got Atrocitus here. I'm like, I'm never gonna play him. So you have those figures, and it's just like, oh, unless you're a fan of those figures or those characters, you're just like, okay, whatever. I can now spend what I would spend on a booster to buy that prize. So not even 2 boosters. And then wait 3 months or 4 months and buy all this stuff for a hella discount because everyone's trying to get rid of their extras. And then you're just like, well, yeah. And then ask yourself this. For all of you who have played War of Light and Fear Itself, ask yourself this. Out of all of that crap that you have bought, how much of it have you played? How much of it have you played? I'm betting not much. I'm really betting not much. And then if you now be honest with yourself because you got your heroclix notebook. I want you to go and look at all the pieces that you've played from War of Light. Put it on just tally it up. Look at all the figures one by one on eBay. Tally up the buy it now price. Just even if you want to make a general average, or even just put out the highest that figure has sold for right now, because we're 4 months in, 5 months in. Okay, just put that in and then say, all right, how much have I spent and how much is this worth? And did I really need that figure from jump? And then you start to realize, like, oh, I really didn't need that figure. Now, I mean, WizKids tries to get you because, let's not lie, these are the magical broken tickets until they decide to burn down Willy Wonka's, magical chocolate factory, okay? They just are. The entities are broke because they're broke, okay? They're broke strong. Super broke strong, okay? There you go. If I can't make it any more clearer, I don't know what to do. All right, now that they're broke strong, what does that mean? That means that we don't see the thing right in front of us that's obvious, that in 4 months, if I have some freaking patience, 4 months, that I can buy all this crap cheap from other idiots who had to have it now. Okay? And then you can just be like, well, I really wanted Hanu, and at the time, spending $8 on him seemed great. Guess what, homie? I got a Hanu. I got Salic. I got Orisa, and some other guys in here. I mean, for what you paid for Hanu, okay? Who won in the money change? Who won in the money change? I did. Why'd you spend $8 on Hanu? Well, at the time, he just came out and I wanted him. No, slap that guy inside of you. Slap him. Slap him hard. Just slap him and tell him to shut up. Okay, now, some of you might be saying, like, well, Dark Logos, I want my Willy Wonka ticket. Now, let's come back. All right, now how much did I say that I paid for Parallax? $150. Okay? For most of y'all running around to go to every Fear Itself, every War of Light you possibly can. How much did you spend in that month to possibly pull an entity and did not pull an entity? At least $100. Now, I took it a step further and just said, screw it, I need to go to Gen Con. Bloop. And then I bought it. Okay, now for the rest of you all, unless you're going to a rock that you really want to win, you don't need to, and you can sit and wait. Now you can be like, but Dark Logos, the entities are ruining my meta. Right now, I'm like, okay, the entities are ruining your meta. Why? Is it because of the powers or is it because of the stats? If it's because of the powers, guess what? There's a cheap new friend for you. It's called the Orange Lantern. It's called the Orange Lantern. And then you just need to say, I'm tired of people BSing with X power from their entities. Just take that away. I'm tired of this guy getting super strength every week. Take that away. I'm tired of him getting super powered up, steel energy. Take that away. Oh, I'm getting tired of every week, the guy sidestepping charge flurrying. Take that away. Just you can outthink that. Like, oh, but Dark Logos, the stat mods. And it's like, no. Just White Witch. Or you can just play Outsiders. Poof. Be gone. And the whole world changes. Do you see that impending pressure all of a sudden start to, alleviate? You're like, oh. You mean that I can be in control a bit? And then you're going to be like, well, Dark Logos, that's not fair. The Orange Lantern just came out. And then I would have to have gone through, the 4 months of this shenanigans, man. 4 months. And then I'd be like, okay, what stops you from running in-cap? What stops you from running mind control? What stops you from doing X, Y, and Z to make it so that your opponent is having a tougher time? If I remember correctly, I think you can get him for a little bit under the cost of an entity. All right, so sort of coming back, and for those people who are like, who's him, is Brother Voodoo. I have to remember that some people don't look at like the screen. They just like put me on in the background and be like, yeah, we just listen to you. We just listen to you, Dark Logos. When you come on and do that video thing, good to have, but we don't care. There's another section of you all that's like, I'm tired of looking at this logo while I'm sitting at my screen. I want to see somebody or something. Something. Anyway. So, coming back, let's talk about the other end, and is the making money part. And this is the part where I would say I listened to Patrick and Afruz, Kevin Afruz. I thought of an apple. I don't know why, and it's like Afruz. I should have thought like of a monkey because that's his avatar on the Realms, a dapper monkey. Anyway, Kevin Afruz was pointing out, he's just like, we just ran around, did a bunch of War of Lights, and sold it all because we made so much of a profit that first month. Just go in there, get prizes. If you need anything, you keep it, but then you just sell everything else and you make mad money. Well, that's the way it goes. Why is that? Because folks are impatient. Impatient so hard. Okay? So that means that, yeah, that first month of Fear itself, I just sold all my stuff and made enough money for my next few months of Fear itself. If I look at it now and said, oh, wow, here's Fear itself stuff, how much of it have I used? And then I realize very little. Even now, very little. Like, I would hate to say it like this. I made all these trades to get Doctor Strange. Haven't played him. At all. Zero. Donut. Wheels on the bus go round and round. 0 times have I played him. And I look, I'm like, man, I traded good stuff for a Doctor Strange that I did not play that I could probably now buy for a lot less than the value of what I traded. So what does this let us know? The power right now is in the hands of the seller. It really is. you know how we joke about like, oh, that plastic crack. Like, yes, the power is in the hands of the dealers, and we can really start to see, like with NECA, they're making tons of money off of heroclix, and they're making tons of money off of us, which we're like, yay, they're going to be profitable, yay. And then the other end of it is like, oh, okay, they're profitable. Who else is making profit? And so for them to be profitable, someone else has to make profit to sell their goods, because if other people don't sell their goods, then they won't buy from NECA, and boom, it starts to decline. Now, who are always the first ones to notice the decline? The major retailers, because they are the primarily ones that are buying. And they're buying in bulk, and they're getting discounts in bulk. Okay? So don't think like, oh, my store, I haggled them down $2 and they lost a lot of money. Like, no, they're still making overwhelming profit. I'll put it like this. Okay, I work at Target. You have an HDMI cable that will cost you $14. Okay. Guess how much that costs the company to buy that cable? Just cost from buying it to shipping it to everything. $1. $1. How much of a profit have they made? A crap ton. Over 100%. Is 1,000% profit off of that one cable. Okay, so it's, oh, I buy it for $1. I sell it for 14. Profit, huge profit. Same thing goes with heroclix. Now, some people are like, well, I'm able to buy a case at cost. Good for you, buddy. You're able to buy a case at retailer cost. All right, great. But the rest of us who can't, guess what? We're stuck here, you know, looking at these prices and like, oh man, they seem so high. That's why the power is in the hands of the seller. Even if it's the second-hand seller of like, oh, I went and bought X amount of boosters and I pulled this, I'm never going to play it. I put it on eBay. Wow, I got $10. Okay, great. That somewhat mitigates some of the costs that I spent on the booster. And that's one of the major problems, is that the cost of the average booster of standard retail value is less than the actual value of the contents of the average booster. And that's how WizKids keeps profits. Now, here's the thing. If people are like, well, if the cost of the value in the booster was higher than the cost of the booster, then people would just go and buy boosters. They wouldn't go to the secondary market because, again, the value's in the booster. But if, as long as the value of the booster is less than as long as the value of the booster is less, in my brain, like that sucks. Like I had a brain fart twice with the same thought. Okay, for the third time, take a breather. All right. If the value of the booster is, let's just make it easier. If the value of the booster is worth more, just because it has good contents in it, then no one's going to go to the secondary market. They're always going to go to the primary market. They're always going to buy firsthand. But when the contents are less in the booster than the cost, they're always going to go to the secondary market. And you can see that in some sets. Now, there are the golden ticket sets where it's like, oh my gosh, I have to pull blah, blah, blah figure because the blah, blah, blah figure is broken and is going for $80 on eBay or $90 on eBay or whatever. And you'll justify to yourself that I need to buy this because that chase or whatever figure is going for so high. But if you look at the amount of buy-ins that a person has, it is better logically for them to just go out there and buy it. So, for example, I bought Super Scroll. Super Scroll cost me $70. And at first, I was like, Super Scroll, I'm trying to get you for $60 because you're good, but I don't want to pay $70. And I'm trying and I'm trying and I'm trying to get Super Scroll. And then I realized that if I buy boosters That's 3 tournaments worth of boosters for Super Scroll, and I will not be guaranteed to get Super Scroll. So it's just better for me to just buy Super Scroll. Just better. So I buy them. And so then it took some of the edge off. I'm like, okay. Now, if I'm selling it, I'm like, well, Super Scroll cost me $70. eBay's going to take their cut. So I need to sell Super Scroll for X amount of money. Just like I try to sell my, my Zombie Galactus for $75. And he wouldn't sell. So I'm like, well, I can't sell him because if I sold him any lower than that, then I won't make any profit whatsoever, let alone make up for the fact that eBay plus PayPal are eating into my profits. Okay. So that's a big deal. So the average user, you're not going to go and like, I have an online store and I can sell directly to you. No, the average person isn't going to do that because just like, all right, take eaglescollectibles.com. Free plug for me. Free plug. Okay. Or Glass Cabinet Hobbies. Another free plug. Okay. Free plug. No one's paying me. All right. They have direct stores. If you go to them, there's no middleman taking out like $3 here, $4 there, and fees and whatnot. So their prices can be a little bit lower or equal to eBay market value. Because again, that extends their profit margin. So you have to go and shop around. So eBay is a good spot. But if you're primarily selling, it's good because you need to sell as soon as the set comes out. So I hate to say it, it used to be that if you could sell in that first week, that was the window. But now the window is like the first 2 to 3 days. Like that's the sell window, which makes it hard because set comes out on Tuesday. So that means Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday, that window is closing up. It's like, are you going to be able to get back to your dimension? Nope. Portal's closed. Portal's closed. Friday is when most people play. Saturday is when most people play. Sunday is when most people play. And guess what happens? That price, that value of that figure that was, let's say it was $50, goes down to 45, sells for 45, then 40, then 37, then it tables off at 36. No, that's a big profit loss from $36 from the starting point at $50. Okay? $36, $50. It's a $14 loss. That's like a Big Mac meal for 2 people. Okay? That's food. Or more clicks. More plastic crack, how you want to see it. So when you look at all of that, what does that tell you? Well, if I'm a buyer, then I don't want to buy in that period of time. I want to buy 2 months off when all the stuff is on clearance, okay? If I'm a seller, I want to attract the idiots early on. Now, again, there's some things, it's just like, if you say, I'm going to play that, I believe the stock of this character is only going to go up after it wins several events, then yeah, buy. But understand that you're paying, a higher markup for immediate use. Even with me, I bought Ab and Sword. Okay, for more than I would care to pay for them. Mainly for that Green Lantern construct. If I just said I needed to pay for the Green Lantern construct by itself, it would still cost me the same amount as Ab and Sword. So now I get Ab and Sword plus a construct. Okay, great. It's 2 months in. If I bought Ab and Sword for Gen Con, Ab and Sword, I think Ab and Sword would have gone, I think he was going for like 50 to 60 then, or 75. I paid $40. Is it still hella high? Yeah, still hella high. Will his price go down? No. I mean, you could buy Ab and Sword without the construct, but you're really just buying him for the construct, if we're honest. I mean, because buying him without the construct is sort of dumb, because he's not that good as a piece. He's okay, 50 points, but he's not like that boss. All right, so hopefully I've given you some insights into like, oh, money, like, oh yeah. I'm not gonna go into tell you like, yeah, budget, blah blah blah. Spend your money on this after you get it. That's on you. Go listen to Dave Ramsey or Money Market or something like that. And figure out where you need to put your money. Okay, I'm not that guy. I'm just not. All right, that's today's show. I like to thank you all for listening. You can follow me on Twitter. It came from outer space and told me credits are international currency used among the aliens. You can find my random musings. Sometimes it's going to be like, yeah, salsa. But salsa this last weekend wasn't, yeah, salsa. It was like, oh, man. Nobody wants to dance with Dark Logos. Nobody want to dance with Dark Logos. So anyway, oh God, believe it or not, that like bummed me out Sunday. I was just like, dang, chicks didn't want to dance with me. Forget the fact that I didn't shave and I was literally like wearing this shirt. So maybe I just need to shave. And anyway, I gotten dances with jeans, but maybe it's the shirt. They're not feeling the green and orange. Anyway, so yeah, you'll see random musings about stuff. You can email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. If you wish to opine, keep it piffy, keep it interesting, keep it awesome, baby. And, hit me up with your thoughts about this episode or any other things. You have team ideas that you need assistance with. Let me know. If you're interested in my services, like several others are, of me helping you build your team from scratch and consulting you and teaching you the ways of the heroclix force, I will be your Yoda. Yes, or your Green Power Ranger, depending on how you want to see it, to help teach you how to maneuver this heroclix world, custom tailored to you. Also, if you have any show ideas, I am open to that. Just feel free to submit that to me. I had people ask me, "Hey, Dark Logos, what episodes are still good?" And I would still say anything from the beginning of this year onward is still good. And you can even, if you want to push it, go all the way back to like episode 75, maybe even 80, and that stuff is still viable for today. All the stuff about in your head game is always viable. Just always is. And if you ever do go back and listen to old episodes about your in your head game that I've done, you're going to start to notice like, wow, he's gotten a lot better at breaking some things down about the in your head game. Anyway, last but not least, you can check out the blog, startingoverpodcast.blogspot.com. On there, you will see the donation, PayPal donation button. You can click on that and donate to the show. Also, everything that you would donate to the show will go towards the show. So if I need to go and pay for a graphic, that's where your money will go for, or giveaways or anything else. Also, again, if you want to get my services, that's how you would pay for the services, through the PayPal donation link. All right, that's about it. Don't forget the heroclix charity raffle. Definitely, the link is going to be below as always. Check out the Facebook. $5 gets you 2 entries. $5 gets you 2 entries into the raffle. And if you do decide to show up, let me know so I can be there to sign your merch or whatever you want. All right, that is it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And remember, we all have to start over sometime.